Right, your C major chord, right? I'm going to do it for this fret up here, right? This 12, this C here, which is your, what's that, 8th fret, right? So we done C, the first thing we learned was the C major scale. That's the scale you learned, which is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. That's our scale. And we learned if you take the first note of the scale, the third note of the scale, look at the distance of the third note, like C to E. Look at the space. There's like you jump up a C, D, E, but look at the gaps. Remember you were talking about you never noticed it was there's some have only don't have any space behind them. Remember, like your B and your C are right next to each other, and your E and your F are right next to each other. Well, that makes a difference when you're making the chords because the distances change, right? So back to your thing, you go the first one you made was the first note of C, the third was, what was it, the E, and then the fifth was actually the G. So that gave you that shape C, E, G, and that's just using the first, the third, and the fifth of the G of the C major scale. Gives you your chord, your first chord, C, right? Right, see when you start the next chord of each one of these notes, C has got a chord. Your second note in that scale, which was D, has got a chord. Your third note's got a chord. They've all got a chord that goes matches with them, right? And then, right, so the second one, you use the exact same scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, right? But this time you start on the D, you're on the D. So if you take that D and you go up a third, the same way, your third note, so you go D and then E, but the third up in this one, because E and F are next to each other, the third note up isn't as far as away, as between C and E. If you look, that's like a whole, that's like two whole tones there, C to D to D to E. But if you start on the D note, if you notice this, you get a whole tone and then it's actually a semitone. See that semitone because it's not up here? Because that note there's not in your scale. It's that one that's in the scale, the normal F. Let go C, D, E, F. That note there, F, is the same as this note. I'm just playing it up here to make it easier to see. But if you've done it scale-wise, you go C, D, E, F. That's your third there, because that's the one that's in the scale. It's not the F sharp, it's the F that's in the scale. So then when you go up a third again, so your next note in the scale is F. What's the next one? G. And then the A. So the A was the third up again, which is the fifth note. So that gives you this pattern. D, F, A. D, F, A. D, F, A. That's your next ones. And if you take them and put them into a chord, you'll get D. Let's find one. There's a D, D, and then find your F, E, F. There's another F. I'll go for your Nirvana shaped minor chord. D, E, F, G, A. So that's your fifths there, A. And then the next one up, the same ideas. When the C shape is like that, you get another D. So your D, F, D, and then you go up to the next one. Remember in the C shape, it was this one here. But in this one, it's down one because it's a normal F, and your normal F's here in this one. So when you take C, A, C, F, it gives you the D minor chord shape. You could think it up here as a D minor chord shape would be like this. And all I'm doing is right, so first one was the C, so it's a C. It was a, when you look, you just write the things down, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, right? And you go the first one, the third one, and then up another third one, and it gives you C, E, G, which was your chords for your C chord, your C, E, G. You'll do that again, right? But start on the D this time, the second one, and you'll get D, D, F, and A is your notes. And if you look at what D, F, A is, D, F, A. You'll notice the F is closer this time here, which makes it a minor. D, the distance between D and F is a minor third. And if you take the, you know, it's D, F, A, anywhere in the whole thing, if you find a D, where's another D? Let's see. You don't need to, if you took it there, say your D's there, and you keep your A as your fifth, and then you've got another D there. And then the next note is there. Your F's there. So if I played it up here, your chord would be that shape. That's a D, A, D, F, and then an A again, repeating, and then a F, a D again at the top. So it makes a D minor shape. I don't know if you got that bit, but what I'm going to see if you do it again for the next note. Say the next, right, so that's your second chord, so your first one's a C major. Your next one's a D minor. Then next, you go into the next note of the scale. Your scale was C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So the third note was C, D, E. Right, so starting your E this time, and you go up a third. So it's 3. So up a third for that is E, F. Is this note? What was this one? No, it's E, C, D, E, F, G. It's this note. So you go up, the first third's a G, which is actually like going C, E, F, G. So G's there, and G's, it's the same G, but if you look at the distance again, it's not two tones up, it's a tone and a semitone, so it's a minor third again. That distance between that note, the third of the scale, the third note, which becomes the first note now, and your third note up there is a minor again. So if you add the other note in, so it's C, E, and then you're looking for the fifth one of that, so it's like here, A, B, it's a B. And you get that shape again, nearly the same as the D shape, but the notes this time are E, G, B, E, G, B. And if you put them together, you get an E minor chord. If you look at your picture with your chords, it will say E minor is the third chord.